Hello and welcome back to the channel. In today's episode, we're going to address what I would consider to be one of the Brompton's biggest weaknesses, that being the roller wheels and the rollability of the Brompton. In today's episode, we're going to show you one of the best hacks that I have discovered to date, that being the 72mm roller wheel. So let's get straight into it and cue to the intro.
He's the Brompton Guy!
Brompton roller wheels. If you've clicked this video, it's probably because your Brompton isn't rolling as efficiently as you want and you are just curious what other options you have on the market that aren't maybe just Brompton specific. Now, I am probably in the same camp as you and I've tried two main Brompton wheels, that being the Eazy Wheel, which is bearing driven, and the advanced roller wheel, which is bushing driven. There are so many options and so much information out there. I wanted to sum it all up in this one video to then show you why the best hack I would consider is the 72mm inline skate wheel. But before we get into that, let's break down each wheel and cover what Brompton offer on the market at the moment. Let's start by looking at the Brompton Eazy Wheel. Eazy Wheels have been around for a while now and start at £24 for the pair or £48 if you want to get them as a set of 4. They are bearing driven wheels and they come in at a size of 59mm of clearance. The wheel itself is based on a rubber ring going around the wheel, a plastic side and the bearing inside itself. It's fairly lightweight and is definitely an upgrade from the standard wheels fitted to a C-line. Okay, so let's break into the advanced roller wheel. These come standard on P and T line. They come at a size of 65mm rather than the 59 of the Eazy Wheel. They are bushing driven, not bearing driven, and they cost £33 for the pair or £66 for the set of 4. It's fair to say that if you are looking for a flagship Brompton wheel, this probably takes the overall winner because its extra clearance is great. It is noisier than the bearing driven, but because it isn't bearing driven, it is probably the lightest Brompton wheel in the market that does a very, very efficient job. One of my biggest negatives to this was while cycling on the upstroke, when your pedal hits it, it makes a horrendous noise, which I just don't like to hear any noise on a fully functioning, good quality bike. Now that we've covered what Brompton stock, let's talk about what I would consider to be the best Brompton hack and without a doubt the best rolling wheel for your Brompton, and that is the 72mm inline skate wheel. This wheel itself is bearing driven, not with one bearing like the Eazy Wheel, with 2 bearings, and is super silent and effective at rolling. It comes in at a cost of £17.50 for a pair of 2, or £38 to equip your Brompton with a set of 4. The cheapest wheel out of any of Brompton's one. I cannot even describe just how effectively this ring rolls. It is so responsive, it just makes the Brompton roll like you would expect it to when you first buy the bike. The wheel itself is so responsive, it's actually caught me out quite a bit. For instance, I was waiting on my train, I simply went to put a bottle in the bin and forgot that I was roughly sitting on my Brompton. I got up to turn around and I seen my Brompton heading for the train track. I'm not used to my Brompton rolling at all on its own without any force push to it. So it's been a little learning curve for me, but this is the learning curve I want because I want my Brompton to be efficient at rolling. At the end of the day, I don't want to have to put out any extra energy if I don't have to do that. That being said, it does highlight a feature of the Brompton which I've never really thought about, and that is the rubber bung in the seat post. Essentially, this is your brake. The best way to refer to it is if you don't put your seat post bung on the ground, your handbrake isn't engaged and your Brompton is free to roll. So I have now got in the habit of engaging the handbrake and parking my Brompton when I want it to be parked. This has become vital, mainly because even on trains, when I put it in the undercarriage, the bike just wants to roll significantly more because it's on amazing wheels to do it. So the one thing you can take is if you get this upgrade, you can actually take advantage of the built-in brake that they put in the seat post. The wheel itself is fairly basic to build up. Now, the one thing I will say about this is that most bearings you can buy, which have a various amount of options. I chose a really nice set of Neve skateboard bearings, and that's only because as a kid I was a massive skater and I always liked the idea of good bearings. But most skate bearings will come with a diameter of 8mm, whereas on the Brompton, for the 6mm bolt, we need 6mm spacing. Now, you could go around multiple different brands and probably look for a standard 6mm bearing to fit in. In fact, I'm pretty sure the ones from the Eazy Wheels might actually fit in there, and I've already done a video covering how to change out your bearings on the Eazy Wheels. But I went for the 8mm and then got a spacer so that I could reduce it down to 6mm, and this actually turned out to be a really effective way to do it, and it gives you the bigger bearings, technically keeps your cost down and lets you buy exactly what you want. In terms of the actual inline skate wheel, I went for this booster wheel. Now, there's multiple options and I'm sure they're all very similar in quality for what we want the Brompton to do, but I'm pretty sure the inline skate community would have a different opinions as to which wheels are really good. These have been absolutely rock solid. As I say, like, I'm pushing a lightweight bike at the end of the day with them, but I cannot explain just how well this bike pushes. If you have watched this video and it's because you actually want your Brompton to be responsive and be as effective as you hoped your Brompton was at the start, do it, get £38 and upgrade these wheels. I'm going to link all this stuff on the description of this, or if I'm not, I will try and make it as clear as possible in the video as to what I've got. Pretty much, you can't go too wrong as long as you follow the list of components that you need to do this. Building the wheel up is also really simple. For this one, I am changing out the bolt itself from a hex head to, from a standard bolt into a Allen key bolt with a lower profile, just to keep it as small as possible to stop any heel strikes coming up on it. But it's simply built by having your bolt going through. We then place a washer on top of that. Bearing 1 would go in. Your spacer would then go over bearing 1. Bearing 2 would go in, and to finish that off, we finish it with a washer itself. Now, it's relatively easy to do. It's just about knowing the parts to do on it there. I do want to then just talk a little bit about ground clearance of the Brompton. So when it came stock, even with the advanced wheels, the actual brake cable and protector would rub across the ground, which just makes a really annoying noise. It did always bug me this, because I think it's unfair that you buy a brand new bike and technically it has issues straight out the box. Now, I get that cable could be trimmed shorter. They didn't do it and it is what it is. But having the 72mm wheel just gives you that extra bit of ground clearance where it clears the road better, it handles bumps so much better. As you can see in that little clip there, that's rolling on some actual non-smooth tarmac, which is all bubbled, and it's holding itself well. The bike will always roll incredibly true, and that is important at the end of the day, because if you want to do something, you can actually now get in the habit of just pushing your bike a bit forward, do something quickly, then catch your bike. It's just been amazing. And if this goes into a shopping mall or a train station with flat floors, you will not believe just how this bike goes. It is like an absolute sports car in response. I feel like I could sit and talk up these wheels for an absolute long time, because it really has been the game changer for me to make it an efficient rolling bike. I think I've articulated that really clear, and I can promise you one thing: if you decide to do this hack, you are not going to regret it, because your Brompton will 110% roll the most efficiently and effective as possible. But to wrap it up and give you a conclusion, we have the Eazy Wheel, which I think is great, but I would always technically now pick the advanced roller wheel if you're looking for clearance and efficiency. This will definitely roll easier, but the clearance does just start to bug you over the advance. If you want the ultimate experience and zero effort, a 72mm wheel is going to do it absolutely fine. And if you want to be 110% clear, almost like the M-Line, you could spec this up in an 80mm if you so wished, but my personal recommendation is the 72 is definitely enough to clear standard bumpy roads. Like always say in the Brompton Guy, I do my best to bring you great information and information you hopefully want that can also help you improve your Brompton journey. If you do want to see anything specific, please feel free to comment below. But as always, thank you so much for your support and patience on the channel, and thank you so much for helping me get over 2,000 subscribers. It's a huge milestone for me and I still feel giddy from it. So as always, thank you and have a good afternoon.
He's the Brompton